See, for example, Prabhu, in this world, we see so many people, like, in India also, donations are given so that we can get tax breaks. So, or, with the promise that some portion of the tax will be given back. So this is lies. This is not exactly the charitable purpose. Or when the spirit of the charity is not there exactly. Or like, for example, false bears false witness while transacting. Of course, that is certainly there. Or false witness while giving charity. False witness, okay. False witness and lies while giving mainly business or giving charity. Like, you promise something but don't give anything. Like, for example, I'll tell you, this happens a lot in India. Like, politician will come to some charitable institution and say, okay, I'll give you this. Actually, it happened with me also personally. So we were doing book distribution at the railway station, and one MLA came there, or some former MLA or something, a member of parliament. He came there and he said, "Oh, I want to give you a charity of 10 lakh rupees. You can give me books if you want, you can give me some things." He took our number, he talked so many things. And then nothing, he just ran away. So this is lies. This is just a lie. Because, I mean, of course, it doesn't affect us so much, but there are people who depend on this charity. Like if you tell a sadhu, they're going to give something, but don't give anything. Like the example of the story of Sakshi Gopal. That is the same story. The old man promises his daughter's hand to the young Brahmana. But then later on, the young Brahmana, when he goes to ask for his promise, the old man has to, like, retract it. He just lies there. He says, "Oh, actually, I can't do anything." So that is actually lying under promise. And that's exactly what the young Brahmana says. That, this you are lying under charity. This is not nice. Not that I am very keen, but because you have promised, now I have to come. Now I have come to ask you to redeem your promise. So please don't say no now. Please don't refuse. So you see, the path of dharma is very complex. There are so many subtleties and nuances. We have to be very careful.
Prabhuji, this verse talks only about lies related to weakness, business, and charity, or in general, it talks about the lies.
Well, business means any transaction.
No, like
Husband, wife.
lies, we speak like children. Our intention is good, but we lie sometimes to our children, right? But our intention is, to protect them, or some intention is good. So is that lie is also considered as sin?
Well, avoid it. Why should you lie to a child? The child will grow to distrust you. So sometimes
But
you cannot
sometimes we
speak the
have
truth.
to.
Yeah, sometimes you cannot
Yeah,
speak the truth
exactly.
outright.
Yeah.
So in that case, you can just, kind of, you can refuse to answer the question. Say this is beyond your understanding. You can say, okay, like Prabhupada gives this example. He says, people ask, did we come from Vaikuntha or did we come from Brahman? So Prabhupada says, how can you explain this answer? There is no answer to this. Only a realized soul can answer. Like if a child goes and asks his mother, "Mother, how was I born?" Like, so what can mother explain to the child? So she'll say, "Oh yeah, you were born like this or something. A stork brought you or something, something." Because the child has no capacity to understand what really goes on. So like this, like sometimes devotees are quarreling with each other. The soul came from Brahman, soul came from Golok. Nobody falls from spiritual world. So this kind of silly discussions go on. But we are not capable of knowing the answers. In our position, we don't have the capacity to even understand this truth.
So if the intention is good, then either we should try to avoid, and if it is not possible, then we can, right?
Yeah, but as far as possible, avoid it. Because a
Yes,
lie is
yes.
still a lie.
Okay, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Yes, any other questions here?
No,
Hmm.
Prabhuji.
Okay, so now we see what is the consequence of intoxication. We have seen illicit sex. We have seen meat eating earlier. Now we see what happens to intoxication. Text 29. Yasva iha vaya vipro rajanyo vaishyo va somapithastat kalatram va suram vratasthopi va pibati pramadatas tesham.
Yastu iha vipra
Vai
यस्तव इह
Rajanya
विप्रो राजन्यो वैश्यो
kaladram
वासो विहितः कलत्रं वासुरास्तमसो
तत्रास्तरामरासुरं
पिबति
Pibati
अपि वा
Pramadadastisam
प्रमादस्तेषाम्
Nirayam Nitanam Purasi क्रम्यास्ये वह्निना द्रवणमाणं कार्ष्णायसं निषिञ्चन्ति
निरयं नितानां मुरसि पदाक्रमं ते वह्निना द्रवमाणं कार्ष्णायसं निषिचन्ति निषिचन्ति
Yes. Someone like to read Prabhu? Yes, please. Translation Prabhupada, there is one guest from Prabhupada. Translation. Any Brahmana or Brahmana's wife who drinks liquor is taken by the agents of Yamaraj to hell known as Ayapana. This hell also awaits any Kshatriya, Vaishya or person under a vow who in illusion drinks Somarasa. In Ayapana, the agents of Yamaraja stand on their chests and pour hot melted iron into their mouths. Purport. One should not be a Brahmana in name only and engage in all kinds of sinful activities, especially drinking liquor. Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas must behave according to the principles of their order. If they fall down to the level of Shudras, who are accustomed to drink liquor, they will be punished as described herein. Hare Krishna. Yes. So, you see now, so people sometimes say, oh, it's okay. I mean, I don't know whether this punishment is given for coffee and tea also, but maybe it is there. So devotees should be very careful. So, well, it's also an intoxicant. So I think maybe they pour something milder, maybe lukewarm lead or something is poured there. But see, who under a vow, who in illusion drinks somras. In Ayapan, the Yamraj, the agents of Yamraj stand on their chests and pour hot melted iron into their mouths. So you see, what is the vow? Now we must understand the spirit of these instructions. What is the vow that Kshatriya, Vaishya, or Shudra or Brahmana takes? See, the vow that they have taken is to protect the society. So these higher varnas, they protect the society with their purity. So like if the father is a drunkard, how will he protect the children? So likewise, if higher varnas, they indulge in sinful activities, who will protect the Shudras? So therefore, they are being derelict in their duty. They are neglecting their duty. So they are being punished. Not that Krishna has some problem with them drinking alcohol. No, it's all right. Krishna doesn't care. Krishna doesn't care. I mean, he has created alcohol also. But he thinks that these people are responsible for leading people out of Maya. So if they themselves go into Maya after taking a vow of protecting others, then they are certainly punishable to rectify their sinful thinking. Hare Krishna. Yes, any questions or comments here?
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Many times the Kshatriyas and the Vaishyas are portrayed in the Vedic society that they do consume liquor. So then how do you understand, even in the Vedic times, it's like portrayed. So how to understand that then? Because even I think during the time of Mahabharata, they used to consume liquor, I suppose.
Yeah, so they are meant to purify themselves by taking sannyas.
Okay.
Proper prayashchit is sannyas, and there are other purificatory activities. We hear about that when we hear about the renunciation of Bharat Maharaj or others. They perform purificatory rites. So sometimes, as a matter of diplomacy, a Kshatriya has to eat meat, a Kshatriya has to kill, a Kshatriya has to take liquor, some Kshatriya has to gamble. Kshatriyas have to indulge in so much sex life. As a matter of diplomacy, Arjun was married 4 times. Bhim was married to a man-eater. So these kind of things happen, but they have to purify themselves ultimately by practicing complete renunciation. So unlike today's age, where people simply want to enjoy and not do any purification, so these people had to perform purification.
Prabhuji, sannyasa is advised after the age of 75 years, right?
Yes.
But then this Kali Yuga, the lifespan, even though the recommended age is, the given age is 100 years, but nowadays people don't even live up to 75 years and they have so many health problems. So how practical it is to take sannyas this age?
So what is the age in Kali Yuga? Maximum age in Kali Yuga?
100 years. 100
No,
years.
no, no. I mean, I am talking about practical age.
Practical age. Nowadays, like people up to 70 years, like that, they are mostly, they're not living up. Even the young people nowadays, they are dying.
Yeah, so take Vanprastha at 35 and take sannyas at the age of 62.5. Or no,
But then,
yeah.
but then what about your family, Prabhuji? You are leaving your family. Is it recommended to leave your family so early? Because you have not completed all your duties. And like suppose nowadays marriage is happening late, children's marriage is not happening. So how can you leave your family to the wife to take care of the family and you run away because you want to purify yourself? How correct is that?
You have to purify yourself. Don't marry like an animal and don't do children like animals. Just because I can have sex, I'll have 10 children. That makes no sense at all. The child must be given proper spiritual education. If that is not the case, then one should avoid sex life altogether. Why should one get married, first of all? Why are people so eager to get married? Have they undergone purificatory rites of brahmacharya? The answer is no. They want to have sex, so they get married quickly. Because it's some family custom, because it's a social thing, and maybe one is always too agitated. So they are living like animals. Then such people cannot even take sannyas really. Forget about responsibility. They have no understanding of what is sannyas. One who has not practiced brahmacharya can never understand sannyas properly. So grahastha ashram is an ashram of heavy responsibility. It's not that simply I live with my wife and children. My children are studying engineering. I am doing consulting, and I am a grahastha. No, this is grahamedhi. 99% of people who think they are grahasthas are actually grahamedhis because they're not doing any devotional activities. One may say, Prabhu, but I chant 16 rounds. Yeah, but what are you doing for the mission? How are you inspiring people to take up to the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? If that's not the case, it's grahamedhi. Chanting maybe one may be doing it for oneself. What is one doing for Krishna? How is Krishna benefiting by our existence? That's how we should think. Then we'll develop proper humility. Actually, one of my very senior godbrothers, Shyam Vallabh Prabhu, he was an exemplary brahmachari brahmana. He always used to tell me that, grahasthas, by rule, think themselves more advanced than they actually are. Every grahastha thinks that he's very advanced. What's going on here? Yeah. So you see, we should be very humble. Grahastha means most fallen, low class. Stri Sangi. So why should a Grahastha be so proud of his education? I think his education has no value really. Grahastha should take sannyas. So you see, Grahastha should be very humble. He should understand his lowly position. But Grahasthas become very proud. Oh, I know so much. Just like we see the story of Prajapati Daksh. I am a great Grahastha and this Shiva has made everything inauspicious. So that is the exactly mood of a Grahastha. Too much pride. And because of that, there are so many offenses. I'm not saying everyone, but generally this is what happens. So one should purify oneself. Janma sarthaka kari kar paropkar. One should work very hard to purify one's existence.
So what is your recommendation, Prabhuji? One should take Kali Yuga. Is it possible to take sannyasa or not?
It is very much.
And what
Prabhupada took
age?
sannyas. Mahaprabhu was in Kali.
But then what about
One should.
the family which you are living and the wife or the husband you are leaving behind? Are we are not doing injustice to them by leaving
What
them so
injustice?
early?
Are they devotees? Are the wife and children devotees or not?
whether they are not or they are there or not, Prabhuji. I mean, suppose now I know a guru, okay. He has taken one prasthashram, that is retirement, right? Which is recommended at the age of 50. But then his wife is not happy that he's not, he has taken voluntary retirement. We have one more child whose education is still there. We have to get her married. We need so much money. So his wife is not happy. So in that case, is it correct on his part taking the one prasthashram?
Okay, first of all, try to understand. Uh, the whole Kali Yuga is topsy-turvy. There is no Vedic scripture which recommends a boy studying engineering or medicine. No, one should be spiritually elevated. So if the child is learning animal education, then it doesn't make any difference whether you leave or not. Now, first of all, let's try to understand what is Vanprastha and what is sannyas. Vanprastha and sannyas are two gradations of the mood of renunciation. So sannyasi is absolved of all sinful reactions. If a man is really sannyasi, if he's really sannyasi at heart, then he can leave his family and go. Prabhupada's children were, useless. Prabhupada's sons were completely useless. Nithalle the bilkul. And Prabhupada left his home. He said, okay, whatever, they're useless. What is the use of being with them? So he left them. And he became a sannyasi. So many people complained that this is not good, this is not that. But today we are here because Srila Prabhupada took sannyas. So if one is really in the mood of renunciation, one has really developed love for Krishna and developed detachment from material nature, then actually by taking sannyas, he'll be purified. The sons and the wife and the children, they will also benefit. Now, they may suffer apparently in this world because of lack of money or something, but spiritually they will be benefited. Okay, but if one is not renounced, then simply taking sannyas to show off, that is nonsense. If one is running away from family responsibilities by taking sannyas, then that is nonsense. One should take the responsibility fully. One should understand that this family is a product of my lust. Now it's my responsibility to deliver them from this material nature. But in the course of living a grahastha life, if one really becomes detached, then yes, he can easily leave at any time. Then there is no problem there. Srila Prabhupada gave sannyas to Tamal Krishna Maharaj when he was married for only 1 year.
So is it
So you see, try to understand the
recommended for
spirit behind
women,
the
Prabhuji?
action.
Yeah, very good, Prabhuji. I understood. There is one term for this, Prabhuji. Some transcendental crime. Something is there. When you do something for Krishna, then all your mistakes are accepted. Some term is there actually.
Yeah, but then it must be really for Krishna. It must not be out of craziness or laziness.
Frustration.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
No, I mean,
Out of frustration of your
if you
time.
think your wife
Yes.
and children are useless, why the hell you even raised them in the first place?
Hmm.
Then you should have just left, No, but you are still attached. So you are just trying to run away from responsibility. That is also another sign of attachment only. Yes. Anandaram Prabhu, you have a question.
Actually, once we were discussing, you had told about this very nice aspect. Like if we are living in a temporary apartment, maybe it's a rented apartment, or maybe we know that now anytime we have to leave the home, so we don't keep expanding and keep building the home too much. You give that analogy to compare that. We all know that one day we have to leave this body, so we should expand that much only, so that as we are nearing our death, then we should be able to wind up also those things properly. So if we keep on expanding recklessly, not understanding the responsibility, and definitely that person will not be able to take renunciation also on time. So therefore the question is like, you keep on doing your academics up to, we encourage children to take academics up to 30 years of age. Marriages take place after 30 years, and then where is the time for renunciation then? And we hardly live nowadays 70 years. The quality of life after 60 is also not so great. Many of my god brothers and friends, after 35 itself, we are facing a lot of health issues. So this is the thing, like as you said rightly, that in Kali Yuga everything is topsy-turvy. But now that we have come to Krishna consciousness, we should seriously think, like slowly we need to unwind and stop having very high ambitions or indulging in ambitious projects. Like in the material world, people will say, oh, now you're in the midlife, so it again you can go for a restart of your career. Like what you did in the 20s, now again you can do something great in the 40s. And they will give some iconic examples. But that's not the that should not be any inspiration for devotees in these matters. Devotees should be like what you said, that was very truly said. What are we doing for Krishna? What are we doing for the Guru Parampara? What are we doing for a Guru? That is more matter for them. How much more time and energy we can give with the remaining part of our life. If we keep on expanding, there's no end. Then we cannot talk about renunciation. We cannot talk about remembering Krishna at the time of the deathbed, because you are always most of the time and consciously you are in so many other activities. So we will not be able to remember at that time, definitely by logic also. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Guru.
Yes, so any other comments or
Prabhuji, I also have a question.
yes.
Hare Krishna Ji. Prabhuji, so to the same point that you were discussing, sometimes this feeling actually comes that, what a waste of time this is. We are non-stop stuck here and there, and because of this non-stop being stuck, we are not able to do what we should be doing. Despite of this feeling, it's a nasty feeling that you keep feeling. Despite of this, we still remain stuck in where we are. And we keep on going on in this hustle bustle to a point, sometime this feeling even goes away. So how do you keep those feelings or those realizations stuck in? So, it keeps reminding you again and again. So you can actually use them as a weakness that, yes, I am stuck.
See, there are many people who talk about, formulae. Now, recently, many of my godbrothers had gone for some japa retreat. And all this, so, there is like japa reform notebook. There is some kind of japa workshops or japa talks. So all these are actually useless because we are trying to fix the symptoms. We don't understand what the problem is. The real problem is that we don't want to serve Krishna. I am not able to focus on my chanting. Why am I not focusing on my chanting? Because I don't like Krishna. I'm not able to do devotion service because I don't want to take my time out for devotion service. You see, no matter how busy one always has some time to do some service for Krishna. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachiti. One can at least offer some water to Krishna.
Because that's not enough, no? Those little services that we do entire day, but that's not Prabhupada's standard.
Yeah, don't be
Prabhupada's
satisfied
standard
with.
is
Yeah, so don't be satisfied with some little service. I know devotees who have been doing some little service for the last 30 years and just little service. But they are not pulling back when it comes to material enjoyment. Oh, my son is in America. He's studying in mechanical engineering in Ohio State and this and that. Well, they have time for all of that. But when you say, but Prabhu, have you studied Bhagavad Gita? Prabhu, it's so difficult. Prabhu, Mataji, Prabhu. All nonsense. There is no desire to know Krishna, but there's every desire to study physics, chemistry, mathematics, engineering, technology, and all that nonsense of this world. There are 50, 60-year-old devotees who are taking certificate examinations for this and that. But when you ask Bhagavad Gita, nobody is interested. People will go and get this cheap Bhakti Shastri certificates. I'm a Bhakti Shastri. Well, show that to Yamraj when he calls you. So these things have no meaning. We can't cheat Krishna, The spirit of bhakti means surrender. If you really want to understand what bhakti is, look at the cover of Nectar of Instruction. Srila Rupa and Sanatana Goswami sitting under a tree and studying the scriptures. That is bhakti. All these fancy techniques, I go to Vrindavan, I lost my heart in Vrindavan, I lost my kidney, liver in Vrindavan. All that is nonsense. No. Just making a yearly trip to Vrindavan for 10 days and buying 20 saris from Loi Bazaar, that's all nonsense. Real bhakti means you should develop detachment from this material world. There's that saying in Hindi, मन चंगा तो कठौती में गंगा. So
क्या है
if
सही?
मन चंगा तो
मन.
कठौती में गंगा.
Yes, yes.
So if your mind is pure, then Ganga, even the water in your little pot is Ganga only.
Is Ganga. Hmm.
So if you don't need to go to Vrindavan or Mayapur to become pure. You can sit in Bombay itself and be completely purified.
Hmm.
Srila Prabhupada himself, all his activities took place in Delhi, New York, Allahabad, Calcutta. Mayapur, Vrindavan came much later in life.
Then
Prabhuji,
we
then
should be able.
about
Sorry, go ahead, Mataji.
Prabhuji, then now we started realizing Krishna. We got into Krishna consciousness very late, right? So we were Grihamedis, as you said. Now we are becoming Grihasthas. But then for our children now, they should not become like that. For that, what we can do, Prabhuji? How differently we can raise our children? Like personally, we all do prayer together. My daughter, she chant one round and she reads some Krishna books and she attends one weekly satsang. That is what she's doing at present. So what else we can do, Prabhuji?
Guide by personal example. Guide by
Yeah,
your own
that.
personal example. So,
Hmm.
practice your devotion nicely and try to explain the spirit of bhakti. See, I am very skeptical of these so-called weekly or monthly programs because here they very quickly they degenerate into rituals. Okay, I went for Thursday program, Friday program, Monday, Tuesday program, and then I did nothing. I'm just like a passenger hanging there. I have done like 4 programs a week. There was a time when I was doing 4 programs per week. My health was in tatters and my spiritual life was also in tatters. Nothing came of it. I just ended up wasting a lot of money and time. Nothing else came of it. The devotees also didn't do anything afterwards. But on the other hand, when I broke up from everything and I started doing my own sadhana, it worked out more fruitful.
But association is important, no, Prabhuji. In the sadhana card, it is written how many associations you had weekly.
What is the sadhana card? Like, is it like that ST driver's bus card? I drove the bus 20 kilometers today or filled 20 liters of diesel. No, sadhana is
I
not
mean,
sadhana card. Are you purified by that sadhana? That's the question you should ask. Which sadhana card Prabhupada was writing? Which sadhana card Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was writing? See, today we are filling cards and we are following committees and meetings and all this thing, and spirit is completely gone. Our ladies are becoming feminist, our men are becoming feminist. Nobody is studying the Shastras. People think that Srila Prabhupada is abusive. All this nonsense is going on. So, you see, because we are just following rituals and we think this is good enough. That's the reason why Madhva Sampradaya or Sri Sampradaya have practically disappeared. This is the reason why Gaudiya Math is completely gone. Because they just became ritualistic. We will also go down the same way if we don't change ourselves. Srila Prabhupada created a very living and dynamic movement. Everyone is different. I won't fill any cards. I hate filling cards. Why should I do that? Okay, I can lie and
no,
say, okay,
Prabhuji, we get a discipline. We get discipline, Prabhuji, that it becomes mandatory. Like, in that there is uh, Mangala Aarti is there. So previously I was little, sometimes I used to skip Mangala Aarti. But then now, because I have to fill that card every day without fail, I do Mangala Aarti. So that happened. Now, then also Bhagavatam reading,
do
that
you like
column
Mangala?
is there. So because I love. Now I started loving because started doing it regularly. I started liking it now.
Oh, that's nice then. If it works, it works. But, don't be dependent on this. If the motivation is missing, tomorrow if I take away your card, will you continue Mangala Aarti or will you stop it?
Yes, of course. Now that I've developed interest. In the beginning, we need little motivation. Somebody has to push us. But then later, automatically we start liking it. No, then we will continue. Then now I'm
Yeah.
including my family members also. So that happened. So that way it is motivating, probably.
Yeah, so I'm not saying it is wrong or anything, but what I'm saying is don't depend on these things. Tomorrow, if this is gone, then you will slack off again. You'll say, okay, whatever, no one is watching me. This should be inner motivation. This should be a self-motivation. Vaishnav Sangh should motivate you. Candidates who go for National Defense Academy, NDA, they have to get up at 3 in the morning and exercise. Before getting into NDA, you must be jogging at least 4 to 5 kilometers a day. So unless you practice strict discipline, you won't be able to do it. but the motivation is there that, I'll be joining the defense force. So that motivation must come from within. No one is forcing these kids that, some father is getting up and slapping them in the morning. No, they do it themselves. Unless that inner discipline is present, these external methodologies are not going to help. They may work, they may not
No,
work.
Prabhuji, in the beginning, we need that push little bit. And later,
Yeah.
It becomes part of our routine. That way I'm
Yeah,
saying.
but then later on, and as soon as possible, try to get into the spirit of the instructions. Try to understand
Yes.
Bhagavatam rather than just filling 1 hour a day slot for studying Bhagavatam. So maintain good sadhu association, and that association discuss Bhagavat. Because this discipline won't hold on in the long run. Trust me on this. Discipline doesn't work in the long run. In the long run, it is only your motivation which will help you. And don't go by this question of liking or disliking. It must be a strong motivation. Motivation involves liking, but not just liking. There must be an objective to it also. Like people like, today I like Mangal Aarti, tomorrow I don't like it. You're getting my point? Like and dislike is mental. But if the objective is fixed, okay, Sarvishna, why should I study Bhagavatam? Because I need to purify myself and I have to preach this message. Mahaprabhu, Amar Agya Hai Guru, Tara Hai. So yes, I have to be a guru. I have to instruct others. But before that, I must perfect my life. So I'll work hard. That is motivation. There's no question of liking or not liking. I don't like it, speaking in this Bhagavatam class, I don't like it. My throat pains. But I have to do it. This is my duty. This is a vow towards my spiritual master. So I have to do it. So liking or disliking has no rule here. I may not like it at times. So many preaching programs we don't like. But we have to do it because that's our duty. So that is motivation. Yes. Any other questions or comments here? Okay, then we stop here today then. Continue tomorrow.
Prabhuji, I have one question.
Yeah, please.
Prabhuji, I have one question.
Yeah.
It's written that all the demigods get annihilated, right? At the time of Mahapralaya. See,
Huh.
it's written that the demigods, right? All the demigods. So then Shiva and Ganesh, Surya, they all are demigods, right? So they also get annihilated.
No. Shiva doesn't get annihilated.
Then why
Surya is
it is
also.
written that all the demigods being like other living entities in the material world, or are all liquidated at the time of annihilation of the material structure?
So Lord Shiva is unmanifest. He's not annihilated. Indra, Chandra, Surya. Surya is also not. Surya is actually partial expansion of the Lord, but they are unmanifest.
Ganesha?
Ganesha is also partial expansion of, so he is also unmanifest. Ganesha, Shiva, Durga, they exist in the interstitial space between spiritual and material worlds. Kartikeya, Ganesh, Parvati, Shiva, they exist in the interstitial space.
Okay. So other than Krishna Prabhuji, all these demigod temples, should we go or not go?
No, why should you go there? What is there to be gained? If they are on your way and you happen to be there, you can offer your respects, but you don't need to
Yes.
go out of the way.
Exactly.
I'm not saying
That was my
disrespect.
question.
Now there's a Shiva temple, I'll just ignore Shiva. No, that is nonsense. So we should offer our respects to
Especially
him.
on pilgrimage, we should not go, right?
Huh?
Especially on the pilgrimage, we should not go, like, Kedarnath
No.
or Trimbakeshwar,
that
all
makes
such
no sense.
places.
No, not at all.
Okay.
Like,
And Prabhuji,
we-
worshipping the forefathers on Pitra, here it's written that in Bhagavatam that we should not worship our forefathers, right?
yeah, correct.
That is comes in mode of passion and ignorance.
Correct.
So Pitra Paksha we observe, right, in India. So should we observe or not?
No need to chant your rounds. Pray to Krishna. Krishna will deliver your forefathers.
So there is no need, right?
No need. In the age, anyway, no one is pure. You know, what Pitra Paksh like, you know, you may say, you may chant some mantras for your Pitras. Om Pitra Trapyantam Tubhyam Namah. This mantra, it may work, it may not work. Now, if you say Tripyantam instead of Tripyantam, then the mantra is useless. Om Pitra Tripyantam Tubhya Namah. So if this mantra, if you're not reciting properly, Pitras are not getting anything. You may be pouring down liters of water and kilos of sesame seeds and rice. Serve no purpose.
Hmm.
But if you chant Hare Krishna and pray to the Supreme Lord to save your Pitras, that will help. Because Krishna is a
Yes.
Supreme Master. Aham Sarvasya Prabha. But
Prabhuji,
if someone is
the
doing
living
this, you
entity.
need to stop it.
What, Prabhuji?
If someone in your family is doing these things, you don't have to go and stop them.
But we should not carry forward that tradition.
No, we should not.
Prabhuji, here, Canto 1, Chapter 2, the living entities who are expanded by his internal potency are eternally liberated persons, whereas those who are expanded in terms of material energy are eternally conditioned souls. So, conditioned soul come from material energy, Prabhuji.
Yes.
We are not from internal energy.
We were at some point, but now it was so long ago that we are practically Nitya Baddha, eternally bound. We have no memory of when we were actually liberated.
So, we are under the influence of material energy.
Yes.
So, we are from internal energy, but we got influence from the material energy. That way they are saying, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Jiva
Then
is
what
always higher.
comes from?
Jiva is always the higher energy. Prakriti is lower energy.
And marginal energy, what comes, Prabhuji?
We are marginal. Inferior energy is Prakriti. We are marginal, and Radha, she's higher energy.
All the Vishnu Tattvas,
Yes.
they all are internal energy, right?
Well, Vishnu Tattva is Vishnu Purusha. Energy is different. Shakti is different. Purusha is different. Vishnu Tattva is Purusha.
They are expansions.
Yes.
They are not energy.
No.
Okay.
Okay. So we stop here today. Thank you very
Yes,
much.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna,
Thank you so
Srila
much.
Prabhupada
Thank you,
ki
Prabhuji.
jai.
Dandavat pranam. Hare Krishna.
Pranam.
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam
Thank
ji.
you. Dandavat pranam.
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Dandavat pranam.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, all the devotees. Shri Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.